Saving money rarely fails because of one big decision. It usually slips away through small habits that feel completely normal. One of the most common habits is shopping without a list. It seems harmless. You open an app casually or walk into a store thinking you'll just pick up a few things. There's no strict plan, no pressure, just a quick visit. But the moment there is no list, your decisions start changing. Instead of buying what you actually need, you begin reacting to whatever appears in front of you, and slowly, spending grows without you realizing it. Number 10. Shopping without a list makes every small item look necessary. You enter planning to buy one or two things, but because nothing is written down, your mind starts scanning everything around you. A discount looks useful, a new product feels interesting, and a just-in-case item seems practical. Each addition feels harmless on its own. You don't feel like you're overspending because nothing is expensive, but a few small items quietly turn into many. Another issue is that without a list, your brain keeps negotiating. You tell yourself you might need something later or that it's better to buy now. These decisions happen quickly without much thinking. Over time, your cart fills with items that were never planned. The total grows, not because of one big purchase, but because of multiple small ones. A simple list changes this behavior. It gives you clarity before you start. When something extra appears, you naturally compare it with what you actually needed. That small pause reduces random additions and keeps spending more intentional. Number 9. Shopping without a list makes you depend on what you see instead of what you need. You enter with a rough idea, but without direction, your attention shifts to displays, labels, and offers. Limited time, best value, and buy more, save more start influencing your choices. It feels like you're making smart decisions, but many of these items were never part of your real needs. This happens because the brain prefers convenience. When something is placed in front of you, deciding becomes easier than resisting. You add one item because it looks like a good deal, then another because it's nearby. None of these choices feel wrong individually, yet together they increase the total quietly. A list keeps your focus steady. You still see offers, but you compare them with what you planned. If it's not on the list, you naturally pause. That pause helps you avoid turning attractive displays into unnecessary spending. Number 8. When you shop without a list, it makes you buy things you already have. You're not fully sure what's at home, so in that moment, buying again feels safer. You think it's better to have an extra than run out. This guesswork leads to duplicates. At the time, it feels harmless, but later you realize the same item was already sitting in your cupboard. These small duplicates don't look expensive individually, but repeated over time, they quietly waste money. They also reduce awareness of what you actually use. You end up stocking more than needed, while the extra items just sit unused. A quick check before shopping and writing a short list removes this confusion. You buy with clarity, avoid duplicates, and your spending stays closer to what you actually need. Number 7. When you shop without a list, you don't have a clear stopping point, and shopping slowly turns into browsing. You enter with a rough idea of buying a few things, but nothing is defined. After picking the first item, you continue walking around or scrolling because your brain doesn't feel finished. You see another product that looks useful, then something nearby catches your attention, and the process keeps extending. The longer you stay, the more items you see, and every extra item creates another chance to spend. This happens quietly because there is no strong boundary. Without a list, there's no moment where your brain says, done. Instead, you keep exploring. Each addition feels small and reasonable, so you don't question it. Over time, these small additions stack up. By the time you reach checkout, the basket is fuller than expected, even though you never made any big purchase. A list creates a natural finish line. Once the listed items are in the cart, your brain recognizes that the task is complete. You stop wandering, exposure to extra items reduces, and shopping time becomes shorter. This simple structure prevents those small, unnecessary additions that slowly increase the total. Number 6. When you shop without a list, your decisions depend on mood instead of need. When you enter without clarity, your current state starts guiding what you pick. If you're hungry, food items suddenly look more necessary. If you're tired, you choose convenience items. If you're bored, you add something interesting just to feel productive. None of these choices feel wrong in the moment, but they are not planned. Because these decisions are emotional, they change every time you shop. One day you buy extra snacks, another day you pick random household items, and another time you add something just because it's on sale. There's no consistency. Over time, this reactive buying quietly increases spending, even though you never intended to overspend. A list reduces this emotional influence. When you already know what you need, your mood has less control. You still notice other items, but you compare them with your list. This small comparison keeps your choices more practical and prevents your spending from changing every time your mood changes. Number 5. When you shop without a list, it's easy to forget important items while buying less important ones. When everything is based on memory, your attention shifts to whatever looks attractive in the moment. You may spend time choosing optional items, comparing prices, or picking things that feel useful, but the essential item you actually needed gets missed. Later, when you return home, you realize something important wasn't bought. Now you either make another trip or place another order. This second round creates extra spending, extra time, and sometimes additional impulse purchases again. What started as one simple shopping trip quietly turns into two. A list prevents this cycle. When essentials are written down, they don't get lost among optional items. You complete what was actually needed in one go, avoid repeat trips, and reduce the chances of additional unplanned spending.
Number 4. Shopping without a list slowly reduces your awareness of how often you buy certain things. When purchases are not planned, you don't notice patterns. You might pick the same type of snack, household item, or small accessory again and again, simply because it looks useful each time. Since there's no record or reference, every purchase feels like a one-time decision, even though it's actually repeating. This repetition is subtle. You don't realize you're buying similar items frequently because each shopping trip feels separate. Over time, these repeated purchases quietly increase spending. The items themselves may not be expensive, but buying them more often than needed creates unnecessary accumulation. Some items sit unused, while new ones keep getting added. A list improves this awareness. When you write what you actually need, repeated buying becomes visible. You pause and recognize that something was recently purchased. This small moment of clarity reduces unnecessary repetition. Gradually, your shopping becomes more intentional, and money is not quietly spent on items that are already available or not urgently required. Number 3. Shopping without a list weakens your priorities. When nothing is written down, essential and optional items mix together. You might start by picking something that looks useful, then spend time comparing similar products, and slowly your focus shifts away from what you originally needed. Because there's no clear order, less important items sometimes get more attention than important ones. This creates a subtle problem. You may end up spending more energy and money on things that were not urgent, while an essential item gets missed or postponed. Later, when you realize something important is missing, you either make another trip or place another order. This second round increases both time and spending, and often leads to more impulse purchases again. A list keeps priorities visible. When essentials are written down, they stay at the top of your attention. You complete important purchases first, reduce the chance of forgetting them, and avoid repeat shopping. This simple structure keeps spending aligned with actual needs rather than momentary interest. Number 2. Shopping without a list makes every decision depend on willpower. When you face many options, you have to mentally decide each time whether you need something or not. At the beginning, you may resist a few unnecessary items, but as you continue, decision fatigue starts building. The more choices you make, the harder it becomes to stay disciplined. This gradual fatigue is subtle. After saying no several times, your brain starts looking for convenience. You begin accepting small additions just to finish quickly. Each one feels minor, but they stack up. By the end of shopping, you may have added multiple items simply because resisting them repeatedly felt tiring. A list reduces this mental load. You don't have to evaluate everything, you just follow what's written. This saves energy, keeps discipline steady, and prevents your decisions from weakening as shopping continues. Over time, this simple structure helps you avoid those small, unplanned purchases that quietly increase spending. Number 1. Using even a simple list changes how you shop. When you write down what you actually need, your decisions become clearer before you even start. You enter the store or open the app with direction, so your attention stays focused. You still see other items, but they no longer automatically become part of your cart. Instead, you compare them with what you planned. This creates a natural pause. When something extra appears, you quickly ask yourself whether it's necessary or just attractive in the moment. That small pause is enough to stop many unnecessary additions. You don't need strict rules or extreme discipline. The list quietly guides your choices and keeps spending aligned with real needs. Over time, this habit builds awareness. Shopping becomes faster, more intentional, and less influenced by mood or displays. You complete what was required, avoid duplicates, reduce repeat trips, and prevent small impulse purchases from stacking up. A simple list doesn't restrict flexibility, it just gives structure, and that structure helps your money stay where it actually matters. Bonus tip: always review your list after shopping. Don't just tick items off and move on. Take a moment to notice what tempted you but didn't make it onto the list and why. Maybe that candy bar looked irresistible, or that gadget seemed essential in the moment. Observing these triggers teaches you about your habits without shaming yourself. This reflection creates long-term awareness. You start spotting patterns, certain stores, times of day, or moods that lead to overspending. Awareness alone quietly shifts behavior. You don't have to stop enjoying your purchases, but you begin choosing them intentionally. Start with one simple step today. Make your list before you head out or open any app. Stick to it, notice your triggers, and watch how your spending changes naturally. Comment below what your biggest money mistake has been and share how you plan to tackle it this week. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and your wallet and your mind will thank you.